Why do humans behave aggressively toward one another? No single explanation suffices. Decades of psychological research reveal that aggression emerges from a genuinely multi-level combination of biological predispositions, frustrated goals and psychological states, and powerfully influential social learning and situational triggers, each contributing a piece of a complex, integrated puzzle rather than any one factor alone. Research on testosterone's relationship to aggressive behavior finds a modest but statistically consistent positive association, particularly for status-related and competitive aggression, though the relationship is considerably more nuanced and bidirectional than simple direct causation would suggest, since testosterone levels themselves fluctuate in response to social status changes, competition outcomes, and even simulated aggressive interactions, meaning testosterone functions as both a contributor to and a consequence of aggressive and status-related social behavior in a genuinely reciprocal biological social relationship. Neuroscience research identifies a key neural circuit involving the amygdala, generating rapid emotional threat and anger responses, and the prefrontal cortex, particularly the ventromedial and orbitofrontal regions, providing top-down regulatory control that normally inhibits impulsive aggressive responses to provocation, with documented cases of prefrontal cortex damage, whether from injury or specific developmental conditions, consistently associated with increased impulsive, poorly regulated aggressive behavior, suggesting that healthy aggression regulation depends substantially on intact prefrontal inhibitory control over more primitive limbic emotional reactivity. The frustration-aggression hypothesis, originally proposed by Dollard and colleagues in 1939 and substantially refined by Leonard Berkowitz, proposes that frustration, defined as the blocking of goal-directed behavior before its intended completion, reliably generates an aggressive motivational drive. Though modern refinements clarify that this frustration-generated aggressive drive does not automatically or inevitably result in overt aggressive behavior, since whether frustration actually translates into aggression depends substantially on situational cues, learned behavioral alternatives, and the specific cognitive appraisal the frustrated person makes of the situation. Leonard Berkowitz's cognitive neo-association theory broadened the original frustration-aggression hypothesis, proposing that a wide range of aversive experiences generally, not exclusively frustration, including physical pain, uncomfortable heat, unpleasant noise, and provocation, can activate negative effect that in turn triggers associated aggressive thoughts, feelings, and behavioral tendencies through learned cognitive associative networks, explaining broader phenomena, including documented correlations between heat and aggression rates and the aggression priming effect of exposure to weapons and other aggression-related environmental cues. Albert Bandura's classic Bobo doll experiments demonstrated that children who observed an adult model behaving aggressively toward an inflatable doll subsequently displayed significantly more imitative aggressive behavior themselves, even without any direct reinforcement of their own aggressive behavior, providing powerful evidence that aggression is substantially acquired through observational learning and modeling, particularly from influential models including parents, peers, and media figures, rather than requiring direct personal reinforcement history to develop and express aggressive behavioral patterns. Beyond individual psychological and biological factors, specific situational conditions reliably increase the likelihood of aggressive behavior, including de-individuation and anonymity, which reduce personal accountability and self-monitoring of behavior, group context, in which aggressive behavior can be socially facilitated and normalized through group dynamics and diffusion of individual responsibility, and specific environmental cues including weapons, alcohol intoxication, and elevated ambient temperature, all of which have been experimentally and correlationally documented to reliably increase aggressive behavior likelihood across numerous independent studies. Aggression cannot be reduced to any single biological drive, psychological state, or learned behavioral pattern alone. It emerges from the genuine interaction of biological predispositions, frustration and aversive psychological states, observational learning from influential models, and specific situational triggers, each contributing meaningfully to whether and how aggressive behavior actually manifests in any given moment and context.